Hi, before we find out what happens next, make sure to give us a like and subscribe to the channel. It takes a second and really help us grow. Out of the story.
Caleb's mother, Pamela, called on a Tuesday afternoon. "Nora, dear, we're having a family dinner this Friday. Just immediate family. We'd love for you to join us." 3 years into my marriage with Caleb, his parents still felt like strangers. Polite but distant, civil but cold. They'd never explicitly said I wasn't good enough for their son, but the message was clear in every interaction. "That sounds nice. What time?" 6 o'clock, casual, nothing fancy. Caleb was traveling for work, returning Friday evening. I texted him, "Your mom invited me to family dinner Friday at 6. You'll be back by then, right? Flight lands at 5. I'll head straight there from the airport. See you there." Friday evening, I drove to Pamela and Richard Winter's house in the suburbs. Large, colonial, perfectly manicured lawn. Everything about it screamed money and status, the kind of background I didn't come from. I'd grown up middle class, state school education. Worked my way through college. Met Caleb at my first real job. He was the senior account manager. I was the junior analyst. We'd fallen in love despite different backgrounds. He proposed after 2 years. His parents had been noticeably unenthusiastic. "She's lovely, dear, but are you sure?" Pamela had said at our engagement dinner. "You have so much in common with someone like Emily Prescott." Emily Prescott, daughter of his father's business partner, old money, country club member, everything I wasn't. I parked and walked to the door, rang the bell. Pamela answered, looking tense. "Nora, you're here. Is something wrong? Come in. Everyone's waiting." Everyone? I thought this was immediate family. I walked into the living room and stopped. 20 people sat in chairs arranged in a circle. Caleb's aunts and uncles, his cousins, his best friend Owen Mitchell, colleagues from his office, even my boss from work. What the hell was going on? "Nora, sit down," Richard said, gesturing to an empty chair in the center of the circle. "What is this? Please, sit." I sat, heart pounding. This felt wrong, staged, deliberate. Pamela stood at the front of the circle. "Thank you all for coming. I know this is difficult, but we're here today because we love Caleb, and we're concerned about Nora." "Concerned about what?" "About your behavior, your drinking, your erratic actions. We're worried about you, Nora. And we're worried about how your problems are affecting Caleb." The words didn't make sense. "My drinking? I barely drink." "That's not what we've observed," Richard said. "Pamela and I have noticed concerning patterns. We've spoken to others who've seen similar behavior." Owen cleared his throat. "Nora, I've seen you drinking heavily at social events, slurring words, acting inappropriate. That's not true." Caleb's aunt spoke next. "I've seen it too, dear. At the holiday party last year. You were quite intoxicated. I had 2 glasses of wine. You also showed up to our house at midnight once, rambling and incoherent," Pamela said. "Caleb had to help you to the car." "That never happened." "We have photos," Richard said, pulling out an envelope. He passed around pictures. Me at a party holding multiple drinks, me with glassy eyes and disheveled hair, me stumbling out of a car. But something was wrong with the photos. The lighting was off, the angles strange. "Where did you get these?" "Various sources, family events, social gatherings. The evidence speaks for itself." My boss spoke. "I've also noticed issues at work, Nora. Missed deadlines, erratic behavior. I've been concerned but didn't know how to address it." "You've never mentioned any concerns to me. Because you're defensive, like you're being now." This was a nightmare, an intervention, for problems I didn't have. "Where's Caleb?" "His flight was delayed," Pamela said smoothly. "He knows about this meeting. He's aware of our concerns. He would have told me. He's been protecting you, covering for you. But we can't stand by and watch you destroy yourself and your marriage." One by one, people shared concerns, stories of my alleged drinking, erratic behavior, mood swings. Some stories I vaguely recognized, events that had happened but were being twisted. Others were completely fabricated. "We want you to get help," Pamela concluded. "We've arranged for a placement at a treatment facility. 30 days, residential. It starts Monday. I don't need treatment. I don't have a drinking problem. Denial is part of the disease, dear. This is insane. You're making this up. The photos don't lie. Those photos are wrong somehow. We're trying to help you, Nora. The door opened. Caleb walked in, saw the room, froze. What's going on? Caleb, darling, we had to start without you, Pamela said. We've been discussing Nora's drinking problem. Her what? We know you've been covering for her, but she needs help, professional help. Caleb looked at me. Nora? What is she talking about? I don't know. They're saying I have a drinking problem, that I've been acting erratically. It's not true. We have documentation, Richard said, handing Caleb the photos. Caleb looked through them. His expression changed from confused to concerned. These are from the holiday party? You look pretty drunk, Nora. I wasn't. I don't know what those photos are, but they're wrong. Everyone here has witnessed concerning behavior, Pamela said, including Owen, your best friend. Caleb looked at Owen. You've seen this? Owen looked uncomfortable. Yeah, man. I've been worried. Why didn't you tell me? I tried to hint at it, but you always defended her. Caleb turned back to me. Is there something you're not telling me? No, Caleb, this is crazy. I don't have a drinking problem. But I could see doubt in his eyes. His family had created an entire intervention, photos, witnesses, stories, and I looked like I was lying. The intervention ended with me refusing treatment and walking out. Caleb followed me to the car. Nora, wait. Don't. Just don't. We need to talk about this. There's nothing to talk about. Your family staged a fake intervention. None of what they said is true. There were 20 people in that room. Photos, stories, lies, all of it. Why would my entire family lie about this? I don't know, but they did. We drove home in silence. I went straight to our bedroom. Caleb stayed downstairs. My best friend, Fallon Reed, called an hour later. What happened? Owen posted something cryptic about being at an intervention. Your family staged an intervention saying I'm an alcoholic. They had photos and witnesses, and your parents claimed I need residential treatment. Oh my God, are you okay? No, everyone believes them. Even Caleb is questioning me. Do you have a drinking problem? No, Fallon, you know me. I have maybe 2 drinks a week. Then how do they have photos? I don't know. Something's wrong with them. They looked edited or manipulated somehow. Could they be real photos from times you were drinking? Not like that. I've never been falling down drunk. I've never showed up anywhere at midnight rambling. These stories are fabricated. Why would they fabricate them? Because they hate me. They've always hated that Caleb married me. This is their way to get rid of me. That's elaborate. That's desperate. Caleb slept in the guest room that night. The next morning I found him in the kitchen looking exhausted. We need to talk. Okay. My parents want me to consider whether this marriage is healthy. Of course they do. They think you're struggling and I'm enabling you. Caleb, I'm not struggling with anything. The intervention was fake. 20 people can't all be lying. They can, if your parents convince them of a false narrative. My mom doesn't lie. Your mom doesn't think I'm good enough for you. She never has. That's not fair. It's true. She wanted you to marry Emily Prescott. She's made it clear since day one that I'm not from the right background. This isn't about background. It's completely about background. This intervention is their way to make me look unstable so you'll divorce me. That's paranoid. It's the truth. I don't know what to believe right now. Believe your wife. I'm telling you those accusations are false. Then explain the photos. I can't explain them yet. But I will. Give me time to investigate. Investigate? Nora, this isn't a conspiracy. Yes, it is. Your family staged a fake intervention. That is a conspiracy. Caleb left to spend the weekend at his parents' house. To think, he said. I spent the weekend terrified my marriage was ending. Fallon came over Sunday evening. How are you holding up? Barely. Caleb thinks I'm either an alcoholic or paranoid. Show me the photos. I don't have them. His parents do. Did you take pictures of them? On your phone? No. I was too shocked. Okay, let's start with the stories. Can you remember which events they mentioned? I pulled up my calendar. The The holiday party where I was allegedly drunk. The midnight visit to their house I have no memory of. Social gatherings where I supposedly slurred words. Let's look at the holiday party first. Do you remember that night? Yes. I had 2 glasses of wine over 3 hours. I drove home perfectly sober. Who else was there? 50 people. Caleb's entire extended family, work colleagues, friends. Anyone who would back you up? Owen was there, but he said at the intervention that he saw me drunk. What about other people? Anyone not related to Caleb's family? My co-worker Jessica was there. She drove me home, actually. Jessica saw you sober? Completely sober. We talked about work stuff in the car. Then she can contradict Owen's story. I called Jessica immediately. I need to ask you about the holiday party last December. Sure. Do you remember driving me home? Of course. We talked about the Henderson account the whole way. Did I seem drunk to you? No. You'd had a couple drinks, but you were completely coherent. Why? There's been some confusion about that night. Would you be willing to give a statement saying I was sober? Statement to who? To my husband. His family is claiming I was drunk that night. That's ridiculous. You were fine. Thank you. I'll call you later. Fallon smiled. That's one story contradicted. What about the midnight visit? I have no memory of ever going to their house at midnight, but they claim I showed up rambling and Caleb helped me to the car. Where was Caleb that night? Whenever they claim it happened? I don't know when they're saying it happened. Then we need to pin down dates. If they're making up stories, the timeline won't match. We spent hours going through my calendar, texts, photos, building a timeline of where I'd actually been and when. Slowly, a pattern emerged. The stories didn't match reality. Monday morning, I requested a meeting with my boss. You attended the intervention Friday. He looked uncomfortable. I did. You said you've noticed issues with my work, missed deadlines, erratic behavior. Can you be specific? I'd rather not discuss this. You discussed it in front of 20 people. Discuss it with me now. Fine. The Reynolds project, you missed the deadline. I submitted that a week early. You have the email. I don't think I do. Check your inbox. March 15th. Subject line, Reynolds final report. I can forward it again if you'd like. He checked his computer, found the email. Oh, you did submit it early. What other missed deadlines? The Parker analysis, also submitted early, April 3rd. He checked again. You're right. So where did you get the information that I've been missing deadlines? Pamela Winters called me, said she was concerned about your work performance, asked if I'd noticed issues. And you said? I said your work was excellent, but she seemed so certain there were problems. She asked me to attend the intervention as a concerned supervisor. So you lied at the intervention? About my work performance? I didn't lie. I just agreed to support what Pamela was saying. Without verifying any of it? He looked ashamed. I'm sorry. She was very convincing. Said you were in denial and needed everyone to present a united front. Did she ask you to say specific things? She gave me examples of the kinds of concerns I might mention. Missed deadlines, erratic behavior. I thought she had actual evidence. She manipulated you into lying about my work performance to support a fake intervention. I'm starting to realize that. Will you tell my husband the truth? Yes. I'm sorry, Nora. I should have verified things before participating. One witness down. Next, I contacted Caleb's Aunt Meredith, the one who'd claimed to see me intoxicated at the holiday party. I need to ask you about what you said at the intervention. Nora, this is difficult. You said you saw me drunk at the holiday party, slurring words, acting inappropriate. Is that true? I saw you drinking. Drinking or drunk. Silence. Aunt Meredith, did Pamela tell you what to say? She asked me to support the intervention, said you were in denial and needed to hear from multiple people. Did you actually see me drunk? No, but Pamela said you were. She must have seen something I didn't. So you lied based on what Pamela told you? I didn't think of it as lying. I thought I was helping. Will you tell Caleb you didn't actually witness what you claimed? That would upset Pamela. Pamela orchestrated a fake intervention that's destroying my marriage. I think we're past worrying about upsetting her. Meredith agreed to talk to Caleb. Fallon helped me track down the photos. Your mother-in-law had them printed. They had to come from somewhere. Digital photos leave trails. We found the original images on social media, photos from the holiday party that had been edited. In the originals, I was holding a single glass of wine, smiling normally, eyes clear. In the versions shown at the intervention, the photos had been manipulated. Multiple drinks added to my hands, eyes made to look glassy, hair digitally messed up. She photoshopped them, Fallon said. This is deliberate. How do I prove that? Forensic analysis, or find the originals and compare. Do you have any of the original photos? They were posted by other people. I can download them. We saved every original photo, created a side-by-side comparison with the manipulated versions Pamela had used. The evidence was clear. Someone had deliberately edited photos to make me look intoxicated. I called Caleb. I need you to come home. I have evidence. Evidence of what? That your mother fabricated the intervention. Nora, please don't. Just come home. Look at what I found. Then decide if I'm paranoid. He came home that evening, looking exhausted. I showed him everything. Jessica's statement, my boss's admission, Aunt Meredith's confession, the side-by-side photo comparisons showing manipulation. These photos were edited, I said. Someone deliberately made me look drunk. Who had access to these images? They're from social media. Anyone could have downloaded them. Who would have motivation to manipulate them? He stared at the comparisons. The evidence was undeniable. My mother. Yes. Why would she do this? Because she's never wanted me in your life. This was her way to make you leave me. That's insane. That's what happened. She staged an elaborate fake intervention, manipulated photos, coached witnesses, all to convince you I'm unstable. Caleb sat down heavily. I need to talk to her. Show her the evidence first. See what she says. If this is true, if she really did this, I don't know if I can forgive her. That's your decision. But Caleb, I didn't make this up. Your mother did. He looked at me with something close to his old trust. I believe you. Those 3 words felt like breathing again. Caleb went to his parents' house the next day. I went with him. Pamela answered the door looking pleased. Caleb, darling, have you made a decision? About what? About Nora. About whether you're going to insist on treatment or... I made a decision, but it's not the one you wanted. We walked inside. Richard was in the living room reading the paper. Caleb pulled out the folder of evidence. We need to talk about the intervention. What about it? Pamela asked. About the fact that it was fake. Every accusation was false. Every piece of evidence was manipulated. That's not true. It is true. Nora's boss admitted you coached him on what to say. Aunt Meredith admitted she lied. And these photos? He laid out the side-by-side comparisons. They're photoshopped. Someone edited them to make Nora look intoxicated. Pamela barely glanced at them. Nora must have done this, edited the originals to make herself look innocent. The originals have metadata showing they were posted months ago. Your versions were created last week. Nice try. Richard set down his paper. What are you accusing your mother of? Of staging a fake intervention to destroy my marriage. That's absurd. Then explain the edited photos. Explain coaching my boss and Aunt Meredith to lie. Explain inventing stories that never happened. Pamela's expression shifted from defensive to defiant. We did what we thought was necessary. Necessary for what? To save you from a marriage that's destroying you. My marriage isn't destroying me. You tried to destroy my marriage. Nora isn't right for you. She's not from our world. She doesn't understand our lifestyle, our expectations. So you fabricated an intervention? We tried subtle approaches for years, suggesting other women, pointing out incompatibilities. You refused to listen. We had to do something drastic. Caleb looked at his mother like he'd never seen her before. You staged a fake intervention, humiliated my wife in front of 20 people. Because you don't like her background? We did it because we love you. You did it because you're controlling and prejudiced. Richard stood. Don't speak to your mother that way. Don't defend what she did. She ruined Nora's reputation, made her look unstable, convinced people she has a drinking problem she doesn't have. If Nora can't handle a little pressure, Pamela started. Pressure? You orchestrated a conspiracy. You manipulated photos. You coached witnesses to lie. We did what we had to do to protect you from a bad decision. I'm 34 years old. My marriage isn't your decision. It is when you're making choices that will embarrass this family. The only thing embarrassing this family is you. What you did is appalling. Pamela's expression hardened. If you choose her over us, you're choosing to cut yourself off from your family, your inheritance, your position in your father's company, everything. Are you seriously threatening me? I'm telling you the consequences of choosing wrong. Caleb looked at his father. You support this? Richard hesitated. Your mother has always had your best interests at heart. My best interests or her social climbing interests? That's unfair. Is it? This whole thing is about her being embarrassed that I married someone who didn't go to private school or belong to the country club. That's what this is about, not Nora's supposed drinking problem. Her background. Pamela didn't deny it. Caleb turned to me. Let's go. Caleb, if you walk out that door, Pamela started, you'll what? Stage another intervention? Fabricate more evidence? I'm done being manipulated. We walked out. Caleb didn't look back. In the car, he broke down. I can't believe they did that. My own parents. I'm sorry. Don't apologize. They orchestrated this. They lied to everyone. Made you look unstable. Almost destroyed our marriage. What are you going to do? Cut them off, completely. I can't have people in my life who would do something this manipulative. Caleb, they're your parents. They staged a fake intervention to end my marriage. Parents don't do that. What about your father's company? Your inheritance? I don't care. I'll find another job, build my own career. I'm not staying connected to people who treat my wife this way. Are you sure? Completely sure. You're my family now, not them. We drove home. Started planning how to undo the damage. Caleb called everyone who'd attended the intervention. Explained it was fake. Showed them the evidence of manipulation. Some people apologized immediately. Others were defensive. A few refused to believe Pamela would do something so elaborate. Your mother is very convincing, Owen said when Caleb called him. I genuinely thought I'd seen Nora drunk. Because she planted that idea, made you reinterpret normal behavior as concerning. I'm sorry, man, to both of you. Some friendships survived, others didn't. But Caleb's relationship with his parents was over. The weeks after the confrontation were difficult. Caleb quit his father's company, found a position at a competitor. Lower title, same salary, but without family strings attached. How does it feel? I asked. Freeing. I spent years trying to live up to their expectations. Now I don't have to. Pamela tried calling. Multiple times. Caleb blocked her number. She sent letters. He returned them unopened. She showed up at our house once. He refused to answer the door. You're really cutting them off completely? I asked. What they did was unforgivable. They're your parents. People forgive family for worse things. Do you want me to forgive them? I want you to do what's right for you. What's right for me is protecting my wife from people who tried to destroy her. Richard tried reaching out through Caleb's brother. Dad wants to apologize. Then he can apologize for supporting Mom's fake intervention. He didn't know about the extent of it. He stood by while it happened. That's complicity. Caleb's extended family split. Some sided with Pamela, claimed we were overreacting, that she'd just been trying to help. Others were horrified by what she'd done and cut contact with her. Your mother staged a fake intervention, Aunt Meredith told Caleb. That's not trying to help. That's manipulation. The family fractured. Holidays became complicated. Some relatives invited both Caleb and Pamela, forcing choices. Others took sides. We spent Thanksgiving with Fallon's family, Christmas with my parents. Do you miss your family? I asked Caleb after Christmas. I miss the family I thought I had, not the one they actually are. 2 years after the intervention, Pamela tried one more time. She sent a letter that got through before Caleb could return it. Caleb, I know you're angry. I know what I did was wrong, but I'm your mother. Can we please talk? I miss you. Mom, Caleb read it. Put it aside, didn't respond. Are you ever going to talk to her? I asked. I don't know. Maybe someday, but not now. What would it take? A real apology. Not, I'm sorry you're upset, but, I'm sorry I staged a fake intervention, manipulated evidence, and tried to destroy your marriage. Until she can say that, there's nothing to talk about. The apology never came. 3 years after the intervention, I got pregnant. Are you going to tell your parents? I asked Caleb. Why? They're going to be grandparents. They chose not to have a relationship with us. That means they don't get to have a relationship with our child. That seems harsh. They staged a fake intervention to end our marriage. They don't get to meet the child that exists because we survived their manipulation. What if they want to meet the baby? Then they should have thought about that before orchestrating a conspiracy. Pamela heard about the pregnancy through family, sent a card. Congratulations on your pregnancy. I'd love to be part of my grandchild's life. Please call me. Caleb threw it away. She's not going to give up, I said. She doesn't have a choice. We're not letting her near our child. Never? Not until she acknowledges what she did and apologizes, really apologizes, for everything. Our daughter Iris was born 4 years after the intervention. Pamela sent gifts, cards, letters asking to meet her granddaughter. Caleb returned everything unopened. Your parents are missing out on knowing their grandchild, Fallon pointed out. That's their consequence for what they did. Is it fair to Iris? Iris will have grandparents, Nora's parents. My parents chose to exclude themselves by staging a fake intervention. They don't get to have a relationship with my daughter. Richard tried attending one of Iris's first birthday party. Caleb asked him to leave. I just want to meet my granddaughter. You had a chance to have a relationship with our family. You chose to support your wife's manipulation instead. That choice has consequences. How long are you going to punish us? I'm not punishing you. I'm protecting my family from people who tried to destroy it. We made a mistake. You staged a fake intervention. You manipulated photos. You coached people to lie about my wife. That's not a mistake. That's a conspiracy. Can't we move past this? Not without a real apology. Not without acknowledgement of what you did. Richard left without meeting Iris. 5 years after the fake intervention, Pamela had a stroke. Richard called from a hospital number. Caleb almost didn't answer. Your mother had a stroke. She's in ICU. She's asking for you. I'm sorry to hear that. Will you come to the hospital? No. Caleb, she's your mother. She might die. Then she'll die without seeing me. Just like she chose to live without seeing me for 5 years. This is different. This is a medical crisis. And 5 years ago was a family crisis. She created it. I'm just living with the consequences. You're really going to let her die without seeing you? She's the one who cut off our relationship, not me. She wants to apologize. She's had 5 years to apologize. She didn't need a stroke to do it. I overheard the conversation. When Caleb hung up, I asked, Are you sure? About what? About not seeing her. If she dies, you can't take that back. I'm sure. She had 5 years to fix this. She chose not to. People sometimes need a crisis to realize what they've lost. That's not my problem. Pamela survived the stroke. Left partially paralyzed, needed full-time care. Richard called again. Your mother needs help. She can't live alone anymore. Then hire help. She wants to see her son, her granddaughter. She should have thought about that before staging a fake intervention. That was 5 years ago. How long are you going to hold a grudge? It's not a grudge. It's a boundary. She tried to destroy my marriage. She never apologized. I'm protecting my family from someone who would manipulate and lie to get what she wants. She's suffered enough. Has she apologized? Silence. That's what I thought. When she's ready to take responsibility for what she did, we can talk. Until then, the answer is no. Richard hired caregivers for Pamela. She moved to an assisted living facility. Caleb's brother called. You're really not going to visit Mom? Even now? Even now. She's alone, in pain, asking for you. She was alone and in pain when she staged an intervention to end my marriage? Or is this new pain more important than the pain she caused? That was years ago, and she never apologized. Time doesn't erase what she did. She's your mother. She stopped acting like my mother when she tried to destroy my wife. The family pressure increased. Cousins, aunts, uncles, all calling to tell Caleb he should forgive his mother. She's elderly, she's sick, she made mistakes, But she loves you. Love doesn't stage fake interventions. You're being cruel. I'm being consistent. She had boundaries about who was acceptable in this family. I have boundaries about who's acceptable in mine. She violated my boundaries. Now she lives with the consequences. Pamela sent a letter through her physical therapist. Caleb, I'm sorry for what I did. The intervention was wrong. I should never have manipulated evidence or coached people to lie. I was trying to control your life, and it backfired. I've lost 5 years with you, and I've never met my granddaughter. Please give me a chance to make this right. Mom Caleb read it, considered. What do you think? He asked me. I think that's the closest she's come to a real apology. Is it enough? Only you can answer that. Do you want me to reconcile with her? I want you to do what's right for you and Iris. If you want her to know her grandmother, I support that. If you don't, I support that too. What would you do? I don't know. She tried to destroy me, but she suffered consequences. Stroke, disability, 5 years without her son or grandchild. Maybe that's enough. Caleb thought about it for a week, then sent a letter back. Mom, thank you for the apology. It's a start. But 5 years of damage can't be undone with one letter. If you want a relationship with me and Iris, here are my terms. You acknowledge publicly what you did. You apologize to Nora in person. You accept that our relationship will be on my terms, not yours. If you can do those things, we can talk about slowly rebuilding. If not, this is goodbye. Caleb Pamela's response came 3 days later. I can't do that. I can't publicly admit to something that would humiliate me in front of our entire social circle. I'm sorry. Mom Caleb showed me the letter. She chose her reputation over her family. I'm sorry. I'm not. She had a choice. She made it. Now we move on without her. And we did. 8 years after the fake intervention, I was 42 with 2 daughters, Iris, 7, and Lily, 3. Caleb and I had built a life completely separate from his parents. Holidays with my family, birthdays with friends, no connection to the Winters family beyond occasional awkward encounters at unavoidable events. Pamela's health had continued declining. Multiple strokes, congestive heart failure. She was 71 and dying. Richard called Caleb one final time. Your mother has weeks, maybe days. She's in hospice. She wants to see you. I'm sorry she's dying. Will you come? Please? Has she changed her mind about the public apology? She's dying, Caleb. Can you let that go? So the answer is no. She still won't acknowledge what she did. She's proud. You know that. And I'm her son, who she hasn't seen in 8 years because she chose pride over family. That's her choice to live with. To die with, you mean? Yes, to die with. I think you'll regret this. I might, but it's my regret to have. Pamela died 3 days later without seeing Caleb. We didn't attend the funeral. Are you okay? I asked Caleb the day of the service. I'm sad, but I'm not regretful. You don't wish you'd seen her? I wish she'd been the mother who could apologize. But she wasn't. I can't force her to be someone she refused to be. Your family will be angry you didn't attend. My family is you and our daughters. The Winters family stopped being mine years ago. Richard tried one more time after Pamela's death. Called asking Caleb to meet. They met at a coffee shop. I stayed home with the girls. Caleb came back 2 hours later looking drained. How was it? He apologized. For real. Said he should have stood up to Mom, should have stopped the intervention, should have protected you instead of enabling her manipulation. Did you forgive him? I appreciated the apology. But I told him we can't have a relationship. Too much damage. Too many years. How did he take that? He understood. Said he just needed me to know he was sorry. That he knew he'd failed as a father. Will you see him again? Maybe, in time. But not now. Richard moved to Florida 6 months later. Sold the family house. Started over in a place without memories of Pamela or the family he'd lost. Caleb's brother reached out occasionally, asked about the girls, sent birthday cards, trying to maintain some connection. Do you think you'll ever reconcile with your side of the family? I asked Caleb one evening. Reconcile implies we had something that broke. We didn't. My mother staged a fake intervention 8 years ago. Most of the family supported her. We just never recovered from that. Do you miss them? I miss the family I thought I had when I was younger. But that family never existed. It was always conditional on me marrying the right person, working the right job, living the right life. And you chose differently. I chose you. And I'd choose you again every time, even knowing what it cost, especially knowing what it cost. People who love you don't stage interventions to destroy your marriage. They don't manipulate evidence or coach witnesses to lie. They support you. Your family supported us. My family tried to end us. I'm sorry it turned out this way. I'm not. We have a good life, 2 beautiful daughters, careers we chose, friends who are real. That's more than I would have had staying connected to people who tried to manipulate my life. Iris asked about Caleb's parents once when she was 8. Daddy, why don't I have grandparents on your side? You do, but we don't see them. Why? Because they did something very hurtful to Mommy, something I can't forgive. What did they do? They lied about her, tried to make me leave her. Before you were born. But you didn't leave? No, because I love Mommy, and I knew they were lying. Did they say sorry? Not really. They said words that sounded like sorry, but they didn't mean them. That's sad. It is sad. But we have Grandma and Grandpa from Mommy's side, and lots of friends who love us. That's family, too. She accepted that answer the way children do, with a shrug and a move to the next topic. 10 years after the fake intervention, Caleb and I renewed our vows. Small ceremony. Just us, the girls, close friends, my parents. No one from the Winters family. 10 years ago, your family staged an intervention to end this marriage, I said in my vows. Instead, it showed me exactly who you are. Someone who stands by the people he loves. Someone who doesn't bend to manipulation. Someone worth fighting for. 10 years ago, I almost lost you to my family's lies, Caleb said in his. I'll never let anyone threaten us again. You're my family. You and our daughters. Everything else is optional. We kissed. Our daughters cheered. Our chosen family celebrated. And the Winters family remained exactly where they'd put themselves 10 years ago, outside our lives, facing the consequences of their manipulation. That felt like justice. Not satisfying justice, not happy justice, but justice nonetheless. They'd tried to destroy us with lies. Instead, they'd destroyed themselves with truth.